Alrighty now, welcome back to the neighborhood, everybody. Let's talk about the Sennheiser HD800S here. These headphones have been my personal favorite and my personal headphones for the last year. I just wanted to make this video as a follow-up to my previous unboxing video with the HIFIMAN Arya and just talk about my own experience with these headphones. Before we do that, if everybody could just take a minute to like and subscribe to my channel. It is free. It is on me. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Alright, so just starting with the unboxing experience. This actually comes in a massive box. I've actually got the wide angle lens on my camera right now, but this actually comes in a huge box. Really awesome packaging it comes in. Huge, almost magazine-like book that comes with it. I haven't even opened this thing. It looks like it comes with a microfiber cloth as well. Yeah, really special stuff. And the big box, it pops open almost like a coffin, right? You open it up and there it is. I understand the old style boxes actually had this foamy area covered in this sort of velvety material, but they've since opted to do this foam setup instead. So a huge box. It really makes the unboxing experience a little bit more special, especially when you're paying this much for a set of headphones. I think it's quite a special experience to have it come in its own special box, right? So yeah. So in terms of what you get in the box, 2 cables. One is the 1/4 inch to proprietary. So these actually just link right into the Sennheiser headphones themselves. 1/4 inch goes into your, ideally a high powered amplifier. These are really hard to drive, well, pretty high impedance headphones, about 300 ohms. So you need an amplifier that outputs a lot of juice. Funny enough, I had been using the O2 amp for my previous Sennheisers, the HD650s, and this thing was super trusty. But yeah, this actually requires a lot of power. The included cables again, 1/4 inch. And the other one, this actually surprised me. So the new Sennheisers actually come with this 4.4mm Pentagon balanced cable, which surprised me again because I had thought this would actually come with a balanced XLR input. Not a whole lot of old school amps like the Objective 2 can support 4.4mm, and the Objective 2 couldn't even support the 1/4 inch adapter. So I actually ended up having to buy this thing. So this thing is from Sennheiser as well. This is actually just an adapter, 1/4 inch adapter to 3.5mm input. 1/4 inch here and here, and it should go into, you know, an O2 or similar headphone input, just like that. So I don't think you'll run into this issue with, you know, some of the more popular amps. And just USB stick, which I think has the manuals, digital manual in there as well. So in case you lose the big book they give you, you have that on USB. All right, before we get started, I want to make it very clear that I'm not this hyper technical headphone reviewer. I'm just a guy who got a taste for good headphones early on when I picked up my first pair of SteelSeries headphones, which I believe were the 5H version 2s. So really early on, and it made a huge difference for me in terms of my gameplay. And it actually just sort of sent me down this rabbit hole of trying different headphones and figuring things out as I go. Again, I'm not super technical as some of the other reviewers out there. I respect what Josh Velour and DMS and even Z Reviews, what they do. You know, it's always amazing to me to listen to reviewers like them describe sound, because there are definitely times where I'm listening or watching the reviews and just the way they describe sound, a lot of the times I'm just like, yeah, that makes total sense, right? And that's exactly what I'm hearing. So definitely check those guys out. But I think as time went on and as I've gotten older, you know, I've been able to save up for, you know, good headphones from, you know, Audio-Technica. My first pair of good headphones were the HD650s. I picked up a couple of the AKGs. And then, you know, when I first started making adult money, picked up the HIFIMAN Arya's, and then moved into these, the HD800s, and then more recently the HIFIMAN Aryas. So I've been incredibly lucky to try all these headphones out. Again, I'm not this expert when it comes to describing sound. You know, I wish I was a little bit more in tune with the audiophile community. I wish I had a mentor to help me along the way. But just like some of you guys that might be watching this video, you know, we're all learning together. And yeah, this is my experience with these headphones. To be totally honest with you guys, you don't need a pair of good headphones like this. Definitely don't need a good pair of headphones like this, especially if you're just playing games with it. This is complete overkill, to be totally honest with you. If we look at some of the pros, even like a lot of the pros aren't even using audiophile headphones, right? They've got sponsored products from Razer, HyperX, Logitech. So you definitely don't need good headphones to do well in games. You know, even Acer uses Apple earbuds, which should tell you a lot about what headphones can do. But, you know, I'll be honest with you guys, having good headphones is actually just, it's actually amazing. Great headphones, for me at least, makes a big difference. But, you know, I'm no pro. So that should tell you how much of an impact they make, right? But yeah, I like good headphones. I think it's a really expensive hobby to get into. So just as a warning, these headphones aren't going to turn you pro overnight, but they certainly help, right? But let's talk about it. So just talking about the comfort and the build quality of these things, this thing's built pretty well. Like, again, if you have a look at it, they're made in Germany, serialized as well. This thing feels awesome, and it's super light. Of course, there are a little bit more delicate parts just around here because these things are kind of like a foil. So these ear pads are kind of like a suede material. Obviously here, I've had this pair of headphones for like a year now. This thing has sort of picked up my skin particles a little bit, and it's seen a lot of wear, but huge drivers in here. I kind of have big ears as well, so it fits super nice in here. And again, I'm not blasting my music. It's all about the quality. It's not about how loud your sound is. But surprisingly, this thing has been built pretty tough. These aren't headphones that you take on the bus with you and, you know, listen on the way to work or anything like that. It's sort of like a stationary, you got to sit at your desk sort of headphone where you can listen to things, right? So really well built, super light. I usually have these on for like hours at a time, and it's not really clamping in on you. No complaints with the build quality. You know, I do see a little bit of discoloring here, sort of where my cheeks and my ears are. If you got, you know, big cheeks like me, it might start to rub off, and a little bit of the wear here. All right, so how do these things sound? I think that's a really important question, right? When you're listening with headphones. So these are so incredibly detailed, quite analytical in a way, right? Like it just, it feels so immersive. Like you're right there on stage with a lot of the musicians. You can pick out certain instruments so precisely with these headphones. And then these are also known for its sound staging. So essentially when you're listening to things with this headphone, like you can hear it way off in the distance, or you can hear it really close by, and you can really pick out some of the details in that recording when listening in with these headphones. So I think that's so special and so interesting to listen to. Again, I've had really well-known soundstage monsters in the past, like the AKG K702s, Audio-Technica's AD700s, which, you know, were great in terms of that detail retrieval. This just knocks it out of the park. Like it gives you that detail retrieval, and it's so incredibly clear. You're able to pick out those little details really precisely. And then when it comes to gaming, you know, having that sort of detail and sound staging and what they call imaging, I think that's so incredibly beneficial. Like you'll be able to hear things way out in the distance, footsteps, gunshots. I think it gives you a big advantage in that regard. It's so incredibly detailed and precise, right? Like you can hear things so far in advance, then it becomes how you react to that information. Just a side note, this is just a mod mic clip, which I don't think I should have placed on the grill itself, but what can you do? But yeah, like this thing is so incredibly detailed. Like you can hear things with such precision. I think it's kind of unfair when you have a pair of headphones and you're gaming with this. You know, in terms of music as well, like this thing sounds pretty great for music. It is a little lacking in the bass, and it lacks it like that impact, but it definitely, like, you can pick out a lot of the you know, finer details in the recording, which is really nice and really interesting to listen to. But I think for some it might be pretty boring. But yeah, this sounds incredibly awesome. Like I really love these headphones. Like it's just so, everything just sounds great with it, for me at least. So yeah, comparing it to something like these HIFIMAN Aryas, the HD800s are interesting to listen to. Like it does have that great soundstage and imaging, but something like this is more well-rounded for when you're listening to music, especially. Like this thing has that impact. I think it has everything to do with just these planar magnetic drivers, right? Like when you're listening to music, it just hits harder than the HD800s, right? So for me, it's a detail monster. Like this picks up all the details. It certainly is missing some of that bass and some of that impact, but for me at least, I don't think that's too important. It is still an interesting headphone to listen to. It's so incredibly unfair to have for gaming, to be totally honest. So yeah. So just on a final note here, one of the things that drives me absolutely crazy are these little connectors. These things are so incredibly difficult. The idea is to line this connector up, this headphone port here, clips in, but then when it's in, it's almost incredibly difficult to take out. So it's not like you can get replacement cables for this really easily, but when it's in, it's in. Like it's not going anywhere. Stays put, but it's so incredibly annoying, these cables, right? I guess that's one of my only gripes with it. Yeah, overall these HD800Ss, one of my all-time favorite headphones, and I feel so incredibly lucky to have headphones like this in my inventory. It's so fun to have in terms of gaming. Music-wise, I think it does really well. Again, I think this is missing a lot of impact. That's why I have the HIFIMAN Aryas for that. Yeah, overall, I think, you know, depending on your preference, you might not like the boring, clear, analytical, and the detail retrieval on these. It's been a really great pair of headphones for me. I have it running with the Topping D90 DAC and the Topping A90 amp here, which are almost equally as boring as a amp DAC combo. But overall, this thing has been so fun to have, and I think I'll be keeping this on my desk alongside my HIFIMAN Aryas. My other video is sort of like a joke video. I do love my Sennheiser HD800s as well, so yeah, I think there's sort of a place for both of these headphones, and I absolutely love these Sennheiser HD800s. And if you've been watching this far already, I really would appreciate it if you guys like and subscribe to my channel as well. So hopefully this video helped you out, and hopefully you guys get a chance to try out the Sennheiser HD800s. Thanks again, guys. Hopefully catch you guys in the neighborhood again. Hello.